are your thoughts on working with George so far in the past 2 days?
Oh, it's been great. He's a funny guy, but but you can tell that he's a competitor, and that's the one thing that I can tell that we both have in common is that once we get on the field, we just want to compete and make plays. So just having him there, us learning together, creating a bond. I'm just very excited for the future for us.
Yeah, what about catching balls from Kenny?
That boy can throw it. I already knew he could throw it from the Senior Bowl and stuff. So just catching balls from him just feels comfortable. It feels great.
What is it about your game that allows you to survive being not the tallest guy and not the heaviest guy?
I would just say my heart. When I get out there, like it has never been a thing where I'm just like, man, these guys big or I've never felt that way. When I get out there, I'm a dog, so I'm just ready for whatever competition, whoever's in front of me. And when I'm on the field, I have no fear.
When you were coming out of high school, did anybody recruit you just to play football, or was it all track and football?
It was mostly football, but I didn't really get recruited too much. I went to a couple Ivy League schools and to visit and stuff, but besides that, I had always went to the University of Memphis camps and stuff, but an offer never came from that, so I was kind of just like waiting for that one, and then I ended up just walking on there. So
you think the size was the issue?
Oh, most definitely. And even when I would talk to coaches, I would go to camps and have great showings and stuff. I'll run a fast 40, but it would always be like your size, and you got to get bigger, your weight and stuff. And that's why I kind of wrote down in my phone in my notes. I keep it of all the things that people or coaches have said to me in the past about that, and so that's kind of my motivation.
When was the first time you heard that? Do you remember?
Probably ninth grade when I went to my first camp. I think I ran like a high 4.4 in the ninth grade, and it was one of the fastest times. And I performed well in the one-on-one portions, but it was like the coach would be like, you got to put on some more weight, get in the lifting program and stuff like that, or you wouldn't have to have the size to play at the next level. And I still remember that.
Were they pushing you for D2 or FCS or who?
It was FCS, and then I remember I went to a coach at a CBHS. It was a mega camp had told me that I should talk to a D3 school, and that's the one that really stuck out to me the most. I remember calling my dad after. I was just mad and hurt, because I was I had a great showing, and then after he gonna say I should talk to some D3 schools because I'll be a great fit. So I'll never forget that.
So when they tell you this, why don't you believe them? As a young kid.
Just because I believe in God and know that He has bigger plans for me, for one, and then I have a great support system. My family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, they all believe in me. And one of the biggest and most important quotes I live by is, "You're supposed to do it for the people who do believe in you. Don't do it for the people who don't believe in you." So that's kind of what I live by.
You got a lot of those?
Yes, sir.
How big were you as a freshman in high school?
I
Or
was
how small were you?
I was small. Yeah, that's a better question. Look, it's crazy because I was a starting DB and I was 5'4", 130 pounds, starting cornerback.
What year was that?
Ninth grade, so that was probably 2013, 2014.
Will the QBs throw at you?
Yeah, they did. Especially, if I say you see that matchup, you're gonna take some shots. But I definitely held my own. But I did get beat some. But just from that, I think starting there, having to tackle bigger running backs, guard bigger receivers, it kind of just helped my toughness and stuff. Because even from that point, you a freshman starting varsity is that's a lot of pressure. So, but when I got out there, I was just like I said, I'm a competitor, so I just like to compete.
You turned into one of the most dangerous punt returners while you were at Memphis. Is that what got you your foot in the door?
Yeah, most definitely. When I first got there, that was something that I immediately started doing. Even though I redshirted my first season, I was always catching punts because they knew with my speed that could definitely be something I could do in the future, and they're probably one of the first things I'd be able to do.
They got a saying in this league: little guys take big hits. You ever taken one?
Oh yeah, I took plenty of big hits, but then the best thing about that is popping up right after and flexing on them. So that's what I like to do. After you make that catch, get that big hit, get up and flex on them a little bit.
What kind of reaction you get when that happens?
They just be like, man, oh, I thought he was gonna fall, stay down or something, but nah, I'm not with that at all.
You got any big hits? Do you remember any big hits you had?
I remember, I think versus SMU on game day in 2019, I got hit pretty good because it knocked my mouthpiece out. I remember I was like, I need to I hopped back up, but I remember that was the one I was like, you go back to the sideline, you tell your teammates, you like, yeah, he hit me good.
So Calvin, I mean, rookie minicamp is over tomorrow. You going to stay here? Are you going to go back home and kind of decompress before OTAs? What's the plan for a young guy trying to go through this process?
My plan is, just to stay here, continue to get some time in with Coach, Kenny, and the rest of the guys. It just gets kind of settled into the city. I really just haven't got a chance to just see the entire city, but the few parts that I saw, it's like beautiful, and I haven't seen too much, but I'm just ready just to stay here and make this my home.
I think Sauce Gardner said you were the toughest receiver that he faced in college. Is that a pretty high praise?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best corners that I've ever played against, and obviously he went top 5 draft pick, and he's very deserving of that because he's a great corner. So I think one of the most respect that players can get is from other players. So for him to have high regards for me, it means a lot. But I also have high regards for him.
I'm sure teams treated you like a #1 receiver in the last 2 years as well.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I remember against some couple teams, I saw some double and triple coverages. So I saw some crazy stuff.
I'd say a lot of resilience about you, too. I mean, you went from Brady White to Seth Haniger. A lot of changes between those 2 years, and you still led the team in receiving yards.
Yes, sir. One of the main things is just like once you have that change, is just continuing to build chemistry on and off the field. And so, that was one of the big things with Brady and Seth, just getting in and just making sure you got that chemistry and y'all on the same page.
Do you think that'll help you here? I mean, you could be looking at one of 3 quarterbacks to start week 1.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. That's why I say it's good to get some work in early on with Kenny, and then when OTAs start, we'll get plenty of work in during OTAs, and I'm sure after. So it's just going to be just getting work in with everybody because, at the end of the day, you never know who's going to be that guy.
Anthony Miller reach out to you?
Yes, he did after the draft. Him, and I just saw Jannard, Avery, so it's kind of crazy because when those guys, when I first got to Memphis, they were the seniors, and those guys, I say, kind of laid that foundation down for Memphis and what Memphis stands for.
It's kind of coincidental. You and Anthony have the exact same steps each way. Walk on, all Memphis track stars, now the Steelers. What's next for you two?
Just continuing to just improve each day and try to be better than the next. That's kind of what got us to where we are now. We don't listen to what outside people say, and we continue to work. I remember when I first got there, I'd most definitely say he was the hardest working individual on the team. He leading all the reps and running the stairs, and I'm a walk-on freshman. Seeing that, that's what kind of showed me this is the way you work. This is how you do it if you want to get to a certain level.
Have you ever not been the smallest guy on your team?
I don't think I think I've always been, because just from just anytime we have the weights out, I think I was always one of the smallest. But even in for instance in the weight room, I would always be one of the strongest per pound people, because I just don't that size factor. It's never been anything for me.
Just used to it by now.
Used to it.
Nickname?
I don't have a nick. Well, I got a family nickname. It's Bebe, but everybody else just call me Cal.
Your first look was like, I have a nickname, but you ain't gonna know it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I got a family nickname. I don't know. I was like, but that's just a family nickname. So yeah.
Calvin, why number 19?
It was given, but it's kind of crazy because my freshman year of high school, that was my first number. So it's kind of bringing it all back together, and I've worn 19 before, and I love it.